Oh, you see? He looks. He sees.
If we get our cameraman to turn around.
In addition, Usyk didn't wait for his shot at the heavyweight title. While Tyson Fury took his time negotiating for a shot at the undisputed heavyweight crown, Usyk wasted no time calling out Anthony Joshua, who at the time held 3 of the 4 major heavyweight titles. Usyk's call-out was not based on a desire for fame or recognition. It was about proving himself. He didn't need the money or the spotlight. He simply wanted to challenge himself against the best. The showdown with Joshua came, and Usyk dominated both of their bouts. In the first fight, he made a statement by outboxing Joshua in a technical masterpiece, clinching the heavyweight titles. Their rematch was more of the same. Usyk displayed his superior boxing skills, once again neutralizing Joshua's size and power. These victories were monumental as Usyk became the first Ukrainian to hold all 4 major heavyweight titles, cementing his place at the top of the sport. But what makes Usyk so dangerous is not just his skill in the ring. It's his heart, his bravery, and his sense of duty. When war broke out in Ukraine, Usyk didn't hesitate to put his boxing career on hold and join the front lines to defend his country. Many fighters would have remained safe, choosing to avoid the violence and chaos. But Usyk's sense of patriotism and duty drove him to fight for something far greater than any championship. He wasn't fighting for money, fame, or recognition. He was fighting for his people and his homeland. After witnessing the horrors of war, Usyk returned to boxing, determined to represent Ukraine on the world stage once again. His decision wasn't about money. It was about legacy, pride, and the belief that he could inspire people through his actions both inside and outside the ring. This is what makes Usyk different from many other fighters: his heart and his dedication to something larger than himself. This same mentality became evident during negotiations with Tyson Fury for an undisputed title fight. When Fury demanded a 70-30 split in his favor, Usyk didn't argue or try to negotiate a more favorable deal. Instead, he simply said, "Fine, let's fight." His focus wasn't on the financial aspects. It was on making the fight happen and proving that he could defeat the best, no matter the conditions. Usyk's mindset in the ring is another reason he is so dangerous. He's unpredictable, always thinking 2 steps ahead of his opponent. His right hand is a constant threat, whether it's being used to block incoming punches, parry an attack, or set up a counter-strike. His head movement is incredibly fluid, keeping him off the center line and making him hard to hit cleanly. His footwork is precise and calculated, allowing him to control the ring and dictate the pace of the fight with ease. One of Usyk's most notable attributes is his chin. He has been hit by some of the hardest punchers in boxing, such as Chisora, Dubois, Joshua, and Fury, but he has never been seriously hurt or wobbled. His defense is an integral part of his success, but even when he does absorb a punch, he simply shrugs it off and keeps moving forward. This toughness and durability are what separate him from many other fighters in the heavyweight division. Usyk's relentless aggression is another factor that makes him so difficult to deal with. Despite being smaller than many of his heavyweight counterparts, he never takes a step back. He applies constant pressure, wearing his opponents down both mentally and physically. His stamina is exceptional, allowing him to keep up a high pace for all 12 rounds, something that is a rarity in today's heavyweight division. Usyk's ability to maintain such a high level of intensity throughout an entire fight makes him a nightmare matchup for anyone in the division. Perhaps the most striking quality about Usyk is his unshakable composure. Whether it's dealing with trash talk, facing a powerful puncher, or navigating tough moments during a fight, Usyk remains calm and collected. He doesn't let the psychological games or the stress of the moment throw him off. This was evident during his interactions with Tyson Fury. While Fury's attempts at mental warfare failed to rattle him, it seemed as though it was Fury who was losing the mental battle. Usyk's composure in the face of adversity is one of the reasons he's been able to dominate at the highest level. Ultimately, Usyk's record speaks for itself. In the span of just a few years, he's defeated Anthony Joshua, Daniel Dubois, and even Tyson Fury, 3 of the most dangerous and well-known fighters in the sport. Each victory not only showcases his incredible skill and heart, but also demonstrates his ability to overcome the odds and conquer the toughest challenges. He doesn't just fight, he conquers. Oleksandr Usyk is a true champion, not just in the ring but in life. His dedication to his country, his legacy, and his unyielding spirit make him one of the most dangerous and respected figures in boxing today. How dangerous is Oleksandr Usyk? He may not have Deontay Wilder's explosive knockouts or the intimidating presence of Mike Tyson, but there's more to his story than meets the eye. One thing that frustrates boxing fans is when champions or high-profile fighters avoid tough opponents. They dodge fights with every excuse under the sun. He doesn't bring enough money. Fighting him won't prove anything, or even, he said something nasty, so I'm pulling out. Seriously? That's just ridiculous. Take Tommy Fury, for example. His behavior left a lot to be desired, didn't it? Cherry-picking opponents just to maintain an undefeated record is all too common among so-called top-tier fighters. But Usyk is different. This is a man who embraces challenges without regard for money, fame, size, or reputation. Usyk's journey began with over 300 amateur fights, and he more than earned his stripes before turning pro. In just his 9th professional fight, he had the chance to claim his first world title. What did he do? He took it without hesitation. His opponent, Glowacki, was unbeaten and no slouch, but Usyk dominated the fight and barely lost a round. A couple of fights later, Usyk entered the World Boxing Super Series and went on to achieve the rare feat of becoming the undisputed cruiserweight champion. But his audacity didn't stop there. Usyk's move to the heavyweight division is a testament to his fearless nature. Sure, he eased in with a relatively easy fight against Chaz Witherspoon, but from there, it was all about taking on the big names. Usyk faced Derek Chisora, the so-called gatekeeper of the heavyweight division, in just his 2nd heavyweight fight. Tyson Fury didn't take on Chisora until much later in his career, but Usyk was already in the ring with him. And don't forget, he was already calling out the reigning champion, Anthony Joshua, who held 3 of the heavyweight titles at the time. Fast forward, and we all know how that story ended. Usyk dominated Joshua in their 2 bouts, taking his titles and making a statement as the new king of the division. While Fury took his time to negotiate for an undisputed fight, Usyk didn't sit idle. He fought Daniel Dubois and put on a boxing clinic, cementing his place at the top. Oleksandr Usyk is a fighter whose true danger lies in his unmatched blend of skills, resilience, and mindset. While he may not have the explosive knockout power of Deontay Wilder or the intimidating persona of Mike Tyson, his legacy and ability to overcome challenges have elevated him to one of the most feared boxers in the world. His story is one of grit, determination, and an undying willingness to fight for something greater than himself. In today's boxing world, it's all too common for fighters, especially champions, to avoid tough opponents. With money and reputation on the line, many will dodge fights with excuses like, "This opponent doesn't generate enough revenue," or "A fight with him wouldn't add anything to my legacy." Some, like Tommy Fury, even choose to cherry-pick weaker opponents just to maintain their undefeated records, all in the name of preserving their image. But Usyk stands in stark contrast to this, embracing the toughest challenges without hesitation, regardless of the risk. What makes Usyk so different is his willingness to face anyone, regardless of their fame, size, or reputation. He's not in it for the fame or the big paychecks. He's in it for the challenge, for the thrill of testing himself at the highest level. His career thus far has been a testament to this mentality, and this attitude has made him one of the most dangerous and unpredictable figures in boxing today. Usyk's journey began in the amateur ranks, where he fought over 300 matches, an impressive feat that not only honed his skills, but also instilled in him a strong sense of discipline and resolve. His time as an amateur was a perfect preparation for his pro career, setting the stage for a remarkable rise to the top. By his 9th professional fight, Usyk had already earned the opportunity to fight for a world title, and he didn't waste it. His opponent, Krzysztof Głowacki, was unbeaten and a formidable challenge. But Usyk demonstrated his mastery of the sport, dominating the fight and taking the title with ease. From that point on, it was clear that Usyk was destined for greatness. A few bouts later, Usyk entered the World Boxing Super Series, where he achieved an almost impossible feat, becoming the undisputed cruiserweight champion. To achieve this status, he not only had to defeat the top contenders in his weight class, but also display a level of skill and poise rarely seen in the sport. This victory cemented his place as one of the best fighters of his generation, but Usyk's ambition didn't stop there. His move to the heavyweight division was a bold one. Many champions would have hesitated to make such a jump, given the size and power advantages the heavyweights possess over the light.